My beautiful butterflies, and welcome to Foundation Tested, the internet series where I am your test subject. You tell me what foundations or products you have been interested in, and I try them on my acne-prone and scarred skin. I wear them through an entire day to see how they hold up, so that you know whether to save or spend your money. Today, we are going to be putting to the test some products from IT Cosmetics. This is the CC Cream with SPF 50, Your Skin But Better. This is the Bye Bye Pores Translucent Powder, as well as the waterproof concealer that's called Bye Bye Under Eye. And just as a note of appreciation, I love that IT Cosmetics does not retouch their photos in advertising. When I went to Sephora inside JCPenney, I noticed that the ads were unretouched. And IT Cosmetics is great because the person that you see all the time, Jamie, that's the actual founder. This is a line that was built alongside plastic surgeons, so it's not just makeup, but it's meant to be beneficial to the skin. And as someone who is a total ingredient nerd and a critic and a skeptic and wants products that are not only cruelty-free, but that work with my skin, the line has kind of been a breath of fresh air. Righto, butterflies, we're off to a little bit of a late start this morning because my car was in a ditch and we had to tow it out. Public service announcement: if you're going to let anybody borrow your car, make sure they know not to park it in the mud. First, I'm going to start out with the Bye Bye Under Eye. This used to be one of my favorite holy grail products. And in the past, when I reviewed the IT Cosmetics Mattified and the IT Cosmetics Illuminous CC creams, I got a little bit of criticism that I was using that under the eyes instead of a concealer. So this time we are going to go back to the concealer and see how this holds up. I remember this used to be one of my favorites. It's super full coverage, so a little goes a long way. But let's try it out today and see how it works with the rest of the face. This specific one is in the color Light Neutral, and I am just going to apply this to the under eyes. As you can see, I have a little bit of purple. Haven't been sleeping super well. And again, this is super full coverage. It's going on super tacky. On one side, I am going to use the brush, and you know what, on the other one, I'm just going to buff in with my fingers, because in the past, I found that's what works best. And again, you hardly need any of this. I'm also going to spot conceal a couple of these, just because they're my problem areas. As you can see, most of my acne right now is not active acne. A lot of these that we're seeing are breakouts that have kind of started to heal. I broke out really bad this month when I was on my period. And these marks always get left behind for me. They're not hyper or hypopigmentation. They're just a little bit of that post-inflammatory pigmentation that gets left behind. And then as always, I've got acne scars. That's just my life. This is the side. I am just now using the other half of the concealer brush to buff out. Look at that. This makes me a happy camper. And that is already looking amazing. And this is a concealer that doesn't crease, at least it hasn't for me. So hopefully they haven't changed the formula and that still holds true. Oh, nice. On the other side, I am going to use clean hands to buff this in. I find that this works really well, especially because the product is so emollient. So just pat, pat, pat. They recommend using fingers to tap it onto the skin, but they do sell the concealer brush as well. And they say that you can also use it as a full coverage foundation. Now, it does have some skin loving ingredients in here. It is labeled as a full coverage anti-aging waterproof concealer. And like everything else in the line, it is cruelty free and developed with plastic surgeons, clinically tested. The key ingredients say that there is peptides, hyaluronic acid, and antioxidants. When we read the Sephora inside JCPenney listing on this, it says that it costs $26 for 0.4 ounces, which is 12 milliliters. It looks like they have over 40 colors, which is amazing. So as you can see, it sits on the skin really well, and I barely used a touch. So this was one of my favorite products years ago, still is. Let's get to applying the foundation. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. It is a full coverage color correcting. It says it is anti-aging and hydrating. Now this does have SPF 50, both UVA and UVB protection. Remember, UVB causes the burn, UVA causes the aging. This protects against both. And what's super awesome is that when we read the label and the ingredients, it contains titanium and zinc oxide. These are physical or mineral sunscreens. sunscreens, not chemical sunscreens, so they are safe for acne-prone skin and they are safe for the ocean and the coral reefs. To my knowledge, they only have 12 shades, which if this was a foundation, that would be disappointing. This is a CC cream, and usually CC or BB creams only have like 1 to 3, so that is pretty good. The color that I am currently using is Color in Light. I am using a flat buffing brush, and I'm just going to use 2 pumps, and I'm going to do one side with the brush and one side with my hands so that we can see a difference. And I do want to mention that they recommend starting off in your problem areas and then buffing out to the areas that you need less coverage. So I'm just going to apply, and you can see that coverage as it goes on. And then we are going to start patting and working this in. The ones that I've tried in the past have been the mattified for oily skin and the luminous ones, and this one has the same amazing coverage. In the past, those other 2 creased. This product claims it does not crease. Maybe I used too much in the past, or again, I put it underneath the eye. This time we're using the concealer, but let's see how it goes. Again, I really love the feel of this with fingers. It goes on so silky smooth, and for me, it just seems to work very well. I'm gonna take a little more from this side and pat that on. Also for a CC cream, do you see how good that coverage is? I mean, I are impressed. I feel like the application with the brush is a little bit quicker, but it does look a little bit more streaky. I tend to like using products with my fingers, and I think this is one that I prefer with my hands, but we'll see how it holds up at the end of the day. Lastly, I'm doing about a half of the pump on the chest so that I can cover some of these chest breakouts, which are no fun. So again, here are the 2 sides of the face. This is the one that we did with the brush, and this is the one that we did with the hands. Lastly, I am just going to set the makeup. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. It is made to be okay for sensitive skin, and this is in the color Completely Translucent. Now, in the past when I used IT Cosmetics products, I actually used their colored foundation powder, and some people said to me, like, you shouldn't do that because it could cause cakiness, and maybe that's why it creased in the past. So this time I did get the translucent powder, and we are going to see how this goes. I'm using, what is this? Heavenly Luxe brush just to apply to the skin. This has a blurring technology. What it really is a silica powder, which is really nice at how it smooths over the skin and kind of blurs and diffuses light. Also looks like they do have that niacinamide, again that B vitamin, along with some licorice extract, which can really help to nourish the skin. So here is the final foundation look on the skin. The skin looks hydrated, it looks fresh and luminous. I would not say that it's matte, but it's also not dewy. Let's see how this holds up for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna finish up the rest of my face with a little bit of blush, and I'm actually gonna go super natural for today's look because I just don't wanna be bothered. This is the Brow Power Pencil, and the reason that I was kind of interested in this is because it actually has ingredients in here which are supposed to help maintain your brow health. There are some B vitamins, vitamins A, C, and E, and there's also green tea extract, so maybe this can help preserve what's left of my outer third. If the eyes are the focus of the face, then the eyebrows are the frames. Next, I'm gonna add a little something something to the cheeks, just a little bit up here as a highlight, as well as some blush and contour. I'm also going to go in with mascara and eyeliner, using Urban Decay, Charlotte Tilbury, and IT Cosmetics. This is the Superhero Mascara. I have to be honest, I have never used this before, but I've heard amazing things about it. This as well is supposed to have some beneficial ingredients in it, such as a rice extract and such as biotin, which many people say helps their hair grow. So I am going to give this a try and see if we can get away without using falsies today. This is really nice because it seems to volumize and lengthen, but I'm not getting super clumpy. And who knows if the biotin can actually help my eyelashes grow, but we're just gonna send that out into the universe positively. And one tip I want you to always consider that can make your lashes look way fuller than they actually are is eyeliner on the upper tight line. Using a little bit of eyeliner in the same color as your mascara just on this little area helps to kind of fill in any gaps. And this automatically can make eyelashes look so much fuller. And lastly, a little pop on the inner corner never hurts. This is Urban Decay, and I'm gonna shove this right into my tear duct and bring a little bit of gold up in here. This is also one of my favorite tips. If you are sleep deprived and you put a little bit of a shimmery color or eyeliner right in that inner corner, instantly makes you look awake. So this is the final look. I noticed as I was doing my blush and my contour that I think that the side that I used my fingers with was a little bit less full coverage, whereas the side that I did with a brush looks really, really good. Overall, this feels flexible on the face. It is officially 8:45 a.m., so let's get going with our day and let's do some check-ins. And just so that we have it, this is what it looks like from the main camera, and this is what it looks like from the cell phone. So we can see how this holds up in a couple of hours. Hello, my friends. I am currently sitting on the ugly floral couch in an equally ugly blanket, answering some emails, editing some videos, and eating sunflower butter right out of the can, because that's what I do. It's almost noon. This is my skin currently. I feel like it's holding up really well. It is not creasing. There is no creasing here. Definitely the side that I applied with my hands is not as full coverage as this side. This side was worse to begin with though. I feel like my skin is hydrated. It's not creasing. It's not clumping. It feels weightless on the skin. And this pimple is still very nicely hidden. So that is like our 4-hour check-in. Does anybody else do this? If you're not a dog, do you do this? This is how you call a cat. Deco, he has an extra toe. He's a polydactyl kitty. Look, he's like a little bat. Spider cat does whatever a spider cat does. A little 5-6 hour check-in. Just got finished with lunch and I was sitting outside, so I was kind of squinting. Do you see that there is one crease coming through? But I am gonna be honest, this is normally a lot less than some of the other ones have creased previously. But this is what we're looking at as our 6-hour check-in. Stay hydrated, kids. It is 6:04 p.m. so this has officially been on my face for 10 hours and I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Overall, I feel like this is wearing phenomenally. I've been talking all day. I've been doing some Instagram and some YouTube videos out here just because I spend my Sundays working. That's what I do. The textural coverage is kind of what it has been. I do feel like when I'm talking a lot, I tend to get these little marionette smile lines. Overall, this is holding up really well for a CC cream. Again, this was my more blemished side, and I felt like the hands didn't cover as well, but the brush side just looks so great. So again, this has been 10 hours on, and it has not yet made me an oily, greasy mess. This is where we're at. So let's give the kitty some kisses. We're gonna eat some dinner. We're gonna consider exercising, and maybe we will, maybe we won't. Okay, bye. He smells my dinner. So it is officially 9:23 p.m. This is a skin check-in. This has been on the skin for more than 12 hours. I am impressed. Again, this is the side that I'm having issues with. Creasing is still there. Overall, I am not overly oily. I don't feel like a nasty. I are impressed. Let's give this another couple of hours. I have a conference call, some snack time, and then we're gonna go sit in front of the lights and see how this has held up. 14.5 hours. It is 10:30 and this has been on my face for freaking ever. First off, I am extraordinarily impressed by how weightless this feels. This feels really lightweight on the skin, which I'm into. Something that happened with the oil controlling mattified one as well as the illuminating one was the creasing. It could have been because of the powder that I was using. The real differentiating factor here, I believe, is just the original formula being used and then also using the Bye Pores powder. The creasing is a lot less, and under the eyes there is no creasing whatsoever. I actually feel like the under eye concealer has held up. If you want me to test this in the water next time, let me know, because it states that you can use this as a foundation. If Do you want me to go swimming in the ocean with this? Holler at you, girl. On this side, I feel like from the get-go, the coverage wasn't really all there. I think that applying with my fingers was not the key for this product. On this side, I am impressed with the scar coverage, with the color coverage, and then that honkin' pimple right here. That's how it's looking. And when it comes down to it, this is a great everyday CC cream that I feel comfortable wearing. Now, the only thing that I noticed is that in between, I would say like 10 and 14 hours, my face has gotten oily. I think you can see it in the light, and I can definitely see it a little bit here around my nose. Now, I do have oily skin, so the fact it's held up to here is pretty impressive for me, but this is the only area that I'm kind of getting it on my T-zone. Let me turn off the light. No lies, YouTubers always have great lighting, and I think it's important for you to be able to see things with and without. So this is what it looks like without the fancy lights, and you can see the oil is a bit less noticeable when I just use the natural lighting. Overall, impressed. So the question then becomes, who is this good for? If you are looking for something that protects you from the sun every day, if you want something that is lightweight, that gives a medium coverage wear, but a full coverage for a CC cream, this is excellent. This, if you have dark under eye bags or circles, perfect. If you do have spots, you might need to go in with an extra concealer. If you do have scars, you might want to consider using some sort of a primer. But overall, this is something that I feel is comfortable enough for everyday wear. And specifically, if you have a Sephora inside JCPenney near you, please head in and look at the actual imagery. The imagery is so amazing. The fact that they don't retouch their photos, I feel like that is so unheard of in this industry. And I love that their before and afters are honest. Honesty really is the best policy. It's something I have a core belief in. And to see a brand that is representing that is something that I appreciate. So let me know, what do you think? How do you think a 1 out of 10 did this hold up on my face? So that we have it, we're gonna take a look at the phone as well. Here is the right side of the face and here is the left side. Again, I feel that the sweet spot is really from hours 1 to 10, and then as we got to 12 and 14, started crumbling. And I mean, this lasted longer than even my eye makeup did. If you're considering this foundation, you should also do your research. They do have the mattified one for oily skin. You can watch my all-day wear test here. And they also have the luminous one for fresh-faced looking skin. Always remember to be beautiful inside and out, get educated and inspired, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.